Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video tutorial on another English commentary of a match that was played in 1998. Red was Master Yan Qing, black was Master Yang Deqi. Master Yan Qing is also one of the authors of the book which this video is based on. So without further ado, let us begin. E7 plus 5, usually E3 plus 5 is more commonly seen, but nevertheless this is okay. And it's the central cannon. Now, important idea is that usually the cannon on the same side as the elephant which has been moved is played, not the other one. Now, if CA plus 5 was played in this situation, it will result in different situations. Now, this cannon is more important because since Red had developed his left flank or moved the left elephant, he would be more likely to develop this left flank, and by moving the cannon, Black would be able to develop his right flank in the contest of speed. Now, Red continued with H2 plus 3, which is a little bit unusual. And he chose to go for the sandwich horse defense formation as red. Now this is more of a strategical play, and to be frank, I personally play this variation a lot. I like it a lot. There are many tricks and traps in the game, and it's very nice to see a player of Master Yan Qing's caliber playing the same variation. Now, if the common line to play would be to play h8 plus 7, 1 plus 2, and this will usually proceed into one of the many common variations of this opening system. Red will be playing the screen house defense as red, black will be countering with the central cannon as black. And black developed his chariot as a ranked chariot in reply to red's Pell corner cannon. Now this was also a very focused counter. Now there's a little bit of opening theory here. Usually, red's sandwich house defense is considered to be a viable counter against black central cannon. So the usual logic would be that if red sandwich house defense were able to handle black central cannon, then it would be even better for red if he played it as red, because he will have the first move initiative. However, in this situation, this was a very good counter, because although red had made the extra move, he would have lost the possibility of countering with a central cannon, and the black chariot would be able to assist the black cannon in attack along the central file. So this is one of the rare fallacies whereby it will not be a good idea for red, or red will not be able to enjoy a significant advantage in this situation. So red continued with the sandwich house defense, black continued with the central cannon and rank chariot. So far so good. Now red, one commonly used tactic in this situation is, instead of advancing either pawn, red will advance the cannon to the riverbank. Now this cannon would be able to do a lot of stuff. For example, c2 equals to 3 to target the horse. He could also play p3 plus 1 to protect this riverbank rank and thus deter any potential attacks by the black cannon. Now, this is also a move that demonstrated an acute sense of the board for red. Now, if he had played if he had played r9 equals to 8, let me retract one move. If he had played, black would immediately start to attack from the central file, and red would not have gained much, and black would be able to start attacking the center file very early in the game. Hence, c2 plus 2 would be a better move, because it will offer some protection as mentioned earlier. And in this spot, black played p7 plus 1, which can be considered to be natural because it prevents c2 equals 3. But in actual fact, this would allow red to catch his breath. Now, if we were to analyze the situation, black could have fared much better by playing p5 plus 1 because the situation on the board would become tense and very sharp, and red would have a hard time trying to control the situation. Now, it will be a standoff, or both colors would clash very early on in the game. So p7, since black played p7 plus 1, red would do likewise, and doing so would give red the opportunity to play c2 equals to 6 to attack the black chariot. Now this is one of the technical possibilities. Black could prevent that from doing so with this. Now red traverses the cannon to block the horse, even though black was enticing red to go for a trade over here. Now if red continued with c2 equals to 6, black would simply play r4 equals to 8, refusing to trade his pieces. Now one major advantage of doing so is that black would now be threatening to charge the cannon across the river. For example, r1 equals to 2, black would go c2 plus 5 to attack the elephant. A possible combination would be to play h6 plus 7 to trade his horse for 2 of the elephants for attack. Black could also play r9 equals to 8 and force a gain of material, so black could have the initiative in this situation. So black develops the chariot, and red chose to develop his left chariot. c5 equals to 7. Now this would be a questionable move in this situation because black would have unloaded on his cannon too early in the game. Although this is quite a commonly used tactic, it was inappropriate for black to do this at this point in time. Instead, black could have fared better with r4 plus 3 or even h3 minus 5 to develop his horse from this area. With c5 equals to 7, this horse would now be left stranded on the riverbank and will be vulnerable to attack because the elephants had not been moved, and vulnerable attack to r8 plus 5. And at this point in time, the cannon would not be able to do much, although black was trying his best to concentrate material for attack on this flank. But it would seem to be inappropriate to do so at the moment. And because of r8 of c5 equals to 7, black immediately pounced on the chance to threaten the black horse. Now black tried to defend in this manner. One possible combination would be to play the elephant, etc., retreat the horse, etc. But nevertheless, black's situation will now be in a predicament. Now, as can be seen in this situation, red countered very nicely, and his instincts on the board allowed red to discover this very powerful attack. Now, if black did not make this move, let's say if he played r1 equals to 2, sorry, I'll get the board out. Let's say if black did not make this move and he played r1 equals to 2, black could have played r8, r8. I'm sorry. Let's retreat there. If black played r1 equals to 2, black could have played r8 plus 1 to link his chariots up and thus be prepared to trade material. And in this situation, if black was successful, red would be in trouble because his right flank would still be congested. So that is why red made this very nice move and forced the black chariot back into the bot corner. c8 equals to 9 is not a possibility because although black could now be attacking the chariot, red will take the opportunity to develop the chariot, and now there is always the possibility of p1 plus 1 to capture the black cannon. say black tried to push the pawn forward, threatening the chariot. Now this would be seemingly be a trade. Again, red will capture the cannon, and black could have wasted 2 moves, losing a pawn, while in the same time still allow red to develop his chariot. So obviously this situation, red would have a significant advantage, because not only was red prepared to gain material, there will be a possibility of h7 plus 6 to gain more tempo. So r8 equals to 9 was a move made out of desperation. Red delivered a check and still developed his right chariot. Black tried to threaten the red chariot and go for exchange. Now this is a very complicated situation. So red accepted the trade because the elephant cannot capture the red chariot. So black played c7 equals to 8, moving his cannon to safety and hoping that red would also move his chariot to the bot corner. And there's also the other options like trading chariots later on, but red traded his chariot decisively with this move. Now this was a matter of cost. Now red had to be aggressive. If he was not aggressive and moved his chariot to the corner, black would trade material and be able to retreat, move his horse back to the very advantageous position, h5 minus 7 to for the tiger-headed horse. Not only would it prevent capture by the pawn, it will also protect the cannon, and red would not have gained anything in the process, and his chariot would still be trapped because the cannon, these 2 pieces will now have locked the 2 chariots up. So black would enjoy a significant advantage, and that is why r2 minus equals to 1 was not an option, and this was why black decided to trade material. So 1 red chariot for black's cannon and horse. And because the chariot was threatening the cannon, black played c8 equals to 7. Now what would happen, or would c8 equals to 6 have been a better option? Now this is another complicated variation. Red will continue to harass the black cannon, and this would place black in a predicament. If the cannon moved away, red would capture the elephant because the elephants were blocked, and red would be in a predicament. So that is why black would defend in this manner. Now let's say if r4 equals to 6, black would still force a gain of material, because even if black played this, the horse would be guarding the cannon and black would lose material. So that is why r4 equals to 6 would not be a viable option. And if a6 plus 5, again, the cannon will now deliver a check because the elephants have been blocked by the rank chariot. And red will now be prepared to deliver a check, a potential checkmate with c6 equals to 4. Black would still have a very hard time trying to deal with this situation. So that is why c8 equals to 6 would not be as good as c8 equals to 7. Now again, red would harass the black chariot, and black defended in this move because he was forced to. r4 equals to 7 was the correct move because it will allow the elephants to link. If r9 equals to 7 was played, red would now threaten to gain material. Again, if black would now threaten to capture the chariot, and capture the elephant for a winning position. So black would usually be forced, if he did not want to lose material, he would be forced to retreat the horse, but in doing so, red will capture the black red pawn and go for the central cannon, etc, etc. There will be many different possible options for red, and black will be all sorts of trouble. So r9 equals to 7 was not a viable option, and c4 equals to 7 would have been better as the elements would be linked. So c5 plus 1, red will start his attack, threatening. This is a very nice intermediate move, forcing the cannon, forcing the chariot to this file before applying a cannon pin. And black tried to salvage his situation in this manner. Red's cannon was simply a huge threat. Now, would it have been better if black decided to counter tit for tat and trade material? Let us see. Again, black would lose one chariot, and the result would be red having a material advantage. So c5, e5 plus 7 was played, and red took the opportunity to develop his horse for attack. e3 plus 5 for defense. Now, could black have tried to trade cannons? Red will first capture the horse, and then capture another elephant. And again, the red spell corner cannon was in this line, preparing to attack the advisor at any moment. And there'll be many other options for red. For example, capturing central pawn, advancing the horse, etc., etc. It would just be a matter of time before red won. So c7 plus 3 would not be viable. And black tried to link his elephants up for defense again. And red retreated his cannon in a very nice move. Now, this is a very powerful move because if black traded cannons, black would still lose a chariot, and the result would be that red would have more pawns and one major would also have one major piece up. So that is why this is a very good move. So basically, this cannon, or actually these two cannons, would have pinned black's three major pieces in one file, and this chariot cannot move because red would simply gain more material by capturing the cannon with his cannon, etc. And there was nothing that black could do in this situation, as red had black tied up in knots, and black was forced to play p3 plus 1 to try to trade pawns to develop his horse, but red was intent on gaining material and played out h4 plus 2. Black tried to prevent another material, and this move was also, there was a hidden trap. Black would hope to try to play h5 plus 4 to trade material to relieve some tension. So red would simply capture and play c6 plus 2, because now this was a horse and not a cannon, and the red cannon was freed, and red was prepared to play ac, was prepared to go for another, was prepared to play c6 equals to 3 to gain material. So black decided to sacrifice a chariot, and basically at this point in time we can see that black's defense is scattered. The elephants are not very well positioned. Red had one more major piece, and at this point in time black resigned. Red would, because the horse could not attack, it could not do much, and red was bound to gain more pawns for a winning position. So victory to red. So we shall see, this will be a short recap of the match. We'll try to see it from the eyes of black. The elephant opening, black counters with the central cannon, same side. And in this spot, red played the Savage Horse defense. Rank Chariot. So far everything is normal. And red played C2 plus 2 for versatile counter. P7 plus 1, questionable. P5 plus 1 would have been better. A good move, C2 to prevent the black horse from continuing to attack. Bad move. Kept threatening the horse. Beautiful, forcing the chariot back. Again, C8 equals 10 cannot be played because red will gain material. C2 equals 5 for the check. A very nice intermediate move, threatening the cannon. Black tries to defend in this manner, threatening to capture the chariot. But because this this is the central cannon, the elephant cannot move, and R8 equals to 3. Whereby black was not threatening to gain material. Black tried an intermediate move, attacking the red chariot, and red just accepted. And after trading material, a very nice move, threatening the cannon. Now again, C8 equals to 6 was not viable. And black was forced to move his chariot in this manner, but in doing so, a very brilliant C5 goes to 1 to attack the chariot, forcing black to line up so many pieces in the same line, and black managed to apply a pin. Black tried to salvage the situation, but it was simply too late. As can be seen, 2 cannons were pinning 3 of black's major pieces, and this horse was still inactivated, while red would have 2 red horses ready to go. So after trading material, black would gain more material, and as can be seen, 1, 2 black pieces versus 3 major red pieces, and black's formation was scattered. So that was why black threw in the towel and resigned. Now, I was very impressed with the way the mid game was carried out by Master Yang, and this is quite a nice example of using the cannon pin or to limit the effectiveness of the enemy's material. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video. If you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up for the video. Thank you.